right, guys, how we doing today? Sam here with you on Tuesday, June 3rd, midday here, and now with our new schedule on a Tuesday, so we let the members choose which assets we're going to review in video. I've got two coming today. First up is an equity, and then we're going to do a Forex pair. So I've got up, this is a stock I'm not familiar with. I've not traded it before. This is Arbutus. I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but the symbol is ABUS. Arbutus or Arbutus. Let's say Arbutus, but anyway, so here it is. So we can see a lot. So this is pharmaceutical, very, very volatile, clearly. So I've got a 3-day up here just so you can get a sense of, you know, the extreme moves here. So when I see that, you know, on a 3-day, so your first thought might be, ooh, that looks kind of ugly. I'm not sure I want to be in that volatility. Well, keep in mind here, you're getting the extreme look at it here. So even if I go down to the daily and push back here, so as you know, with any equity, any asset for that matter that we're looking at, we're trying to get a sense of if it's technical. Can we find algo footprints? Well, I spotted this one pretty quickly, so we know algos are in here. So from this pivot low to this pivot high, get it right there. So here we are between the 50 and the 618. We get this little reaction. We go to the algo target to the tick. So as I will always remind you, the evidence of algos is not here. It's here. It's always the tell is at the target. What happens at the target? Well, algos make their money here. They get paid. Look at the reaction. So when you put it on a 3-day, these just look like they're giant swings. And if we went down to lower time frames, you'd see this again and again. So the algorithm is always in play. It's probably, if I just at a quick glance here, probably here again, I might be a little shy. So maybe that's a front run before we start the whole thing down. If I go, let's see if I can get that on the 4-hour. Let's go back here and see. Oh boy, this thing really did get punished. So here coming down, if we get this, I would probably be right here. So that's a little shy here. They get to and through, and that's what starts the whole sell-off. So with that, let's go back to our daily so I can get us recentered here. So counting this, you know, it doesn't make much difference now. What we care about is what's happening now that we put this low down here at $2. That's where I'm sure any of my members interested in this equity are what we're looking at is what's happening out here on the hard right edge. So of course, you know, just basic. I'm just taking wicking off the swing high to the swing low. Now, take note here. If I go to the absolute low, we've broken. So what I see here is I look here from with an Elliott count, trying to get a handle on the count. It looks like we've got this here. Let me lower that degree. Let's go down. Let's go down all the way to the small one. All right. So this now, when I look at that, so that looks to me like what we have here is a completed one wave. So knowing that, if we put the degree on this, so if we go from that's not what I want. Come here. I want this. So if this is from swing low, get this eventually here. 1 looks like I might have A, B, C down here. So that would be 2, 3, 4, and 5 going up higher. So let's go, we'll go there. Okay, and let's change that color. All right, so now we look at that and say, okay, just as I was showing you before, so if that's my 2 and this is my 3, well, here's the 4 between the 38 and the 50, good, but target unrealized. So the algorithm that was a buyer here, unrealized target now has been stopped out. What meaning, right? So this is important now, meaning that the next thing that they're going to do is sell at the 50, right? So they start this likely little front run here. Target is unreached. Back up to the 618 to the tick. They try and force it down. Market's too strong. Now we break it. Okay, so the algorithm here that was on the short side has been stopped out. Well, so the one that bought it here stopped out. One that sold it here stopped out and reversed. Right, so we know what they're doing. So we know now where they are. We know last thing they did was they bought. All right, so well, pardon me. So we went from here to here. Right, that was the sell. Right, they get stopped out. So now they actually don't have another trade. So so pardon me, I got you wrong there. Okay, so let's rephrase. So from this low to this high. Well, here's 50 to the tick. Now we've gotten the target and we're tapping the second target. So it looks like potentially what we may have here is, if that's my low here, this may be 1, 2, 3 going in, going up to try and get that 5. Now let's get this in the appropriate degree. We'll go to subminuet. Okay. All right, so do you see what we have here? So it looks like I've got a 5-wave, come here. I'm having trouble getting these hot today. A 5-wave move corrected by this 3-wave. All right, so we get that truncated C. We get that little triangle pattern here as we get, all right, this is common pattern. Get used to seeing this. So here we get this action here. So if I bring this all the way down. So we get that triangle, and then we break. On the break, we come down. We touch the 50 to the tick. Right? Here's the first. We get a little reaction. You see the little reaction there? But the market's strong enough to keep going. So they push it up. Now we're at second target. Well, what else might be there? We can take this off here. So we've got the first trade here. Swing low, swing high. There's the 50. Right? So recall here, from the swing high to the swing low. Right? We went to the 50, sold off. Right? So the algo that's on the other side of it, swing low, swing high, they're a buyer here. They are the ones who make money. The algo that was the seller here, they have to reverse. Now they're waiting. So if they're waiting, they've got two things to be waiting for. There's the all the way halfway back. Let me clean this up so you can see it. There's the all the way halfway back, which would be right here, and then there's the wave 2 halfway back. If I can get that right on it. So then we've got it right here. So if we're going to go into an impulsive wave here, which if this is 1, 2, we need an impulse here, right? If this is going to be the 1, 2, and the 3 of the third here in blue, if that's what we're in, and we don't know for sure, but it looks like that's what we may be in, we're putting in we're trying to get the third. Okay, follow me here. We're trying to get the third of the third, right? That's your money-making wave. That's if you can get, of any ride you can catch on an Elliott wave, you want the third of the third. So what we're in potentially now is the third of the third. Well, what if you're not in? Well, you're sitting and waiting now. You can't be a buyer here. You're not going to buy as we break new highs here. That just never a good idea. So so think of it this way. You're paying full retail here and just a little bit above retail. You want to wait till they put it on sale. And think of it that way, try and simplify it. But I can look at a couple of things here. So I've got lots of pivots. So of course I'm going to look for a pitchfork. So if I go from my swing low to my swing high, come down to this C wave here, am I right on it? Looks like I'm pretty close. So approaching the median line, is that potentially the third? Well, that wouldn't make sense here. So let's see if we qualify. So if I go from the swing to my proposed 1 high down to my 2. Well, we've broken 100%, so it qualifies. What we're after, though, is our high probability target up here. This is where we want to see it get, is up to this 1618 window. That's the classic third. If we're going to get a true third, we're looking for the 1, 2, then pushing for the 3. So right now, we've got this resistance to get through as it taps the median line. As we know that, from Andrew's trading principle number 2, that very often the pivot will be made on or near the median line. So a lot of times what you'll see is this is just kind of a little, if it's going to go through, it'll hover there for a little bit. You'll get some reaction around the median line. If it's going to blow through, then that's a very strong sign of strength. So if we get this kind of little wiggle, 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 it'll hang around it, undecided, then it'll show its hand. So the strength will push it up. That's what we're looking for. So don't be surprised if you see a little hover. Now, if it pivots there, which it certainly could do, that would be high probability to pivot on the median line. If it pivots, then we're in some sort of a subdivision. You'd be looking for a retrace before it goes back up, maybe gets back to the median line there. So that's potential roadmap to get there if we pivot on the median line. We've got to wait and see what the reaction is. We may tap it here while I'm recording this because it certainly looks strong and it's awfully close here. So looking at this prior resistance here, we're through that resistance, but it's yet again not a place to be a buyer. Certainly. So there's a good example, right? So if you didn't know, if you're a breakout trader and you haven't taken the time, or you don't know to draw the median lines there, you might be a buyer here thinking, oh well, I got a breakout from this high. Oh, here we go, we're going straight up. Well, now while that certainly is possible, would you want to be a buyer here bumping right into the median line? I know I wouldn't. But, you know, that's just me. I mean, that trader makes his own decision as he looks at that. But if you don't know that's there, and you're just looking at this and you're thinking, oh, man, broke the high. Good, good, good. Keep going. Because all you're thinking is, oh, man, I'm going right here. Well, if you didn't draw that, you're not going to know that that resistance is there. And if, I don't know that we will, but if we pivot there, well, that's going to be why. Right? So, again, just kind of showing you the idea being you have to know what's there. You got to know that that's there. Right? Simple. Pivot, pivot, pivot. So here already, take note, we've got the corner pocket trade. That's about to be realized. So as I will always remind you, this is the best odds in trading, bar none. None. There is no better odds anywhere. I don't care what indicator you're using. This is the best odds in trading. From the corner of the pitchfork to the median line, that's 80% probability. If you know anywhere else in the markets where you can find 80% odds, please send it to me. I'd really like to know. This is the only one that I know of. Right? So from that corner, now caveat, right? Those pivots have to hold. Right? So as long as this low holds, 80% probability of getting there, and we're realizing it as I record this. I don't know. I've probably shown it to you 200-300 times. So I'd like to think that anyone watching my videos has got median lines on their charts. Right? Just algos use them, so you wouldn't want to not know that that's there. All right. Again, I'm not saying that it can't go through. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I sure as hell wouldn't want to be a buyer there. All right, so we'll wait and see. Do we get a reaction there? What does that look like? Is that sitting up? So 1, 2, we're looking for the third up here. So if I pull some of this off, we know we're looking for that third up here. If I get a reaction here, that just may be part of this internal. So even here, just looking at this. So if I go, let's go to the 4 hour. So it looks like I may have a 1, 2, and we're going into some sort of a 3 of the subdivision. You see that retrace here? That's likely it's probably golden. Just looking at it. So if I sit here and look at this, so from this low, get this hot, here's my, look, okay, so tell I've been doing this a long time. Swing low, swing high, into the golden zone. All right, so here, and then, guys, every day, it's always there. So from the golden zone, where do we go? Right to target. What do we get? Reaction. Right, now we keep going. Now, so the market, what does it want? It wants the median line. First reaction, second reaction. Here's the extreme, right? So we've already got first. We see the reaction. This is the profit taking. Market's strong enough to keep going. Blows right through the second target. What does it want? It wants the median line. And if it can get through that, then there's the 100, which would be relative to this as a 1, 2. So if I now put this in Elliott context, and I go from my low here, if this is my 1, this is my 2 within this, then this would be my 3, 4, and 5. So let's put that in blue, and we'll change that degree. We'll go to minuet. Right? Do you see that? So of the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 going in, then there's the 4 and the 5. It's always waves within waves within waves. Right? When Elliott is really on and it's really there in the market, you can't miss it if you know how to look for it. It's not that hard. All right, yeah. So not to make light of the effort that it takes to get a handle on this. I'm not saying that it's easy. Trading is not supposed to be easy, nor will it ever be easy. You wouldn't want it to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's one of the hardest ways to make money that I know of. Yet here we find ourselves slugging it out in here. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I'm saying that being profitable is very achievable if you know what to look for. Right? The markets are very, very consistent until these algos change. I'm literally handing you the keys to the vault. You just got to know how to find it. All right, guys, so we'll wait and see on that. That looks pretty promising here. We'll have to wait and see what the reaction is. So if I take this back out, let's go to a 12-hour here and put it back into perspective of where we may be. So we got this big 1, 2. We're waiting to see. We're looking at this subdivision here to see where the next trade is. But right now, with the market just going higher, it's always a process now of waiting for the retracement. All right, market is moving. Here's the impulse. We wait now till they put it on sale. Will we get it at 30% off? Maybe we'll get it at 23% off. Maybe 38% off. Maybe 50% off. All right, think of it that way. All right, guys, that should give us enough here on Arbutus. Somebody tell me how to pronounce that. All right, guys, I've got one more for you today. I'll be back with an FX spread.